Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another community book reading session by the Bibliophile family. Today we have Ruchi ji with us discussing chapter 25 and 26 of the book Focus on What Matters by Darius Farooq. So over to you, Ruchi ji.
Thank you, Palak. So, this beautiful book, which comes up with so many stories and some hard hitting lessons in a very simplified way, we move on to chapter letter 25 today on the hidden value of hard things. Lately, I'm seeing a lot of criticism on the validity of living a productive life. Ever since the height of the COVID pandemic in May of 2020, people have been writing about the dark side of prioritizing your career and work. One of the earliest articles I could find is one called Is This the End of Productivity? It was really the perfect time for a message like that. So many of us spend our entire lives gunning full force ahead when it comes to working. We tend to go hard until we physically can't move. And that's why we need messages like slow down, you'll be fine if you work a bit less. And yes, it's healthy to remember that you have value as a person outside of your productivity. So I think many, especially the corporate people would agree with this, and others also. We even when you are out of corporate, you are in your own work also. Uh, Many a times we forget, we start identifying ourselves with the work that we are doing, और हम भूल जाते हैं कि हमारी जो एक सच्चाई है वो उस work is a part of our life, it is not our life. And there are other things also that we have should be taking care of, tending to, developing, चाहे वो हमारी skills हो, चाहे वो हमारी hobbies हो, because all that come together. And this is something that even Mahatma Gandhi ji also realized once he was quarantined for 15 days. So that was a time this realization came to him that he was so much attached to his work that when he was put aside because of an infection, he was put in a quarantine for 15 days. That's the time he realized that he is so much attached to his work and he needs to create that detachment. And that was the time, that detachment, he realized that work can happen without me as well. So अगर मैं नहीं भी हूँ तो भी काम चलता रहेगा. So दैट्स अ काइंड ऑफ एक भावना हमारे मन में होनी चाहिए कि फर्स्टली आई एम नॉट द डूअर. So we generally identify our work as we are doing it. There is a master hand which is already doing it. And if we are not the doer, so then it can be done by somebody else also. There are other instruments as well. So these messages popped up during that time. Slow down, you'll be fine if you work a bit less. And yes, and we keep seeing these messages about self-care, self-love, all the more, all around, on social media now. So it's like your wise grandpa who's saying that you should do everything in moderation. To me, that's still one of the best pieces of advice for a good life, and it's been around for ages. Now, here's a funny thing. Almost 2 years into this pandemic, people are still preaching you should take it all easy all the time. You are not lazy, you just want to do you. Who needs a career? These folks are the opposite of the die-hard workaholics, but maybe just as die-hard in their beliefs. So it's like a grandpa advice, that do everything in moderation or make yoga as your work. Infuse yoga in your work, and yoga is all about balance. So creating that balance. So the Stoics were always moderate when it came to work and rest. They simply said, don't overwork and also don't be lazy, because entropy will take over. Entropy is when the feeling of laziness or the negativity that will, when you don't work and you leave that emptiness within you, so that will take over. It's just like taking care of your house. If you never clean or maintain it, the house becomes unlivable. Similarly, if we stop taking care of our bodies and minds, we will eventually deteriorate. It's a law of nature. The truth is, we need to do hard things to maintain an equilibrium. So, this is a fact we want to ignore because no one likes doing hard things. Who wants to exercise every day? Who wants to work on their relationship and admit that they have all kinds of bad habits that originate from their childhood? Now, here comes another layer to it, that while we take it easy, but don't run away from the hard work. So, we have to create a balance over here because things, commitment, dedication, it needs hard work, and that comes in any field. So, why is eating, taking a pill easier for people? ज्यादा लोग ये प्रेफर करते हैं कि हम दवाई खा लेंगे अपनी सेहत पे काम करने से ज्यादा. Why is that so? Because काम अपने ऊपर एक्सरसाइज के लिए जाने के लिए, योगा मैट पे आने के लिए, the person has to actually work and show up. So there, it is a long route. It is not a shortcut. Whereas a medicine, popping a pill with a glass of water, it's quite a shortcut. And unfortunately, many a times we are we fall in for shortcuts. We get very much attracted to shortcuts in life. Yes, consistency is needed. Any reflections till here? Uh, Anyone about the pandemic? That yes, pandemic was a time when we were actually reminded of self care. Um, but at the same time, maintaining an equilibrium in life is equally important. सो कभी आपने अपने काम में अपने साथ ऐसा मतलब देखा है, महसूस किया है that you've ignored yourself, you've not been able to tend yourself, and you've been reminded of this thing?
Yes, with your reflection, good morning all. With
Good.
your reflections, I have been reminded of the Buddhism middle path, which stresses on that we should have, actually, that is eight fold path, that we should have right view, not extremes, mid resolve, speech, conduct, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, samadhi. I think eight things are there. So, no doubt that in order to live a happy life, we need to maintain all areas of life, not going one way. So, balance should be there. Only then, yeah, this is the right path, I feel.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
thank
much.
you.
Anyone else would like to reflect?
Yeah, may I? I'm audible?
Yes, please. Yes, Rumit
Yeah,
ji.
yeah. Just like we have Palakji, who is always constantly showing up and working for TBF as well as her profession. And she had been stretching, but just on a lighter note, please don't mind. So God give her break with some leg injury and all. So similarly, Kamalji also is not less. He also once I know he had fever, but still he was conducting the sessions. And also we have Sher Singh ji, who is like unbeatable and always on dot. Suppose 5 o'clock means 5 o'clock, he will be there without fail.
Mm.
So there are many examples and other members also. Nehaji is not there who regularly post or cycling. So people are there who are dedicated 100% like machines. So I was wondering that how come they are managing all these things. But sometimes, as you said, break required little break for balancing, and that is okay. So as long as you are not getting lazy, so we can correlate with our team and everything. Thank you.
True. So I remember when I was working in the corporate, 2-3 महीने के अंदर, वैसे तो मेरा डॉक्टर के पास हर महीने का विजिट था. Every month I used to visit to the doctor and take up a 5 days of. This was till the year I think 2018. 2020 I quit. But till the year 2018, the reality of my life was that every month I used to visit a doctor. So मैंने ना उनको एक बार जोक में बोला कि आप ना मुझे मंथली पास बना दो, क्योंकि हर बार थोड़ा फीस में डिस्काउंट मिलेगा. So now, but in these every month visit, every once in 3 months, every one quarter, my condition used to be such that I had to take up a break of a chutti from the office and just be doing nothing at home and just lying down and sleeping. So एक अंदर से वो होता है ना कि somewhere you are deeply very happy that this happened to you, because you knew that you needed this break and you wanted to actually lie down without doing anything. And when that used to happen, so that used to be a sign that nature is taking care of you, because you needed that break, so this has come to your life and you need to simply cut out. And उस टाइम पे वो एक रिकवरी टाइम होता था, बट yes, till the time we don't start giving these breaks to ourselves, otherwise the nature is always there for us. It is always, handling us and taking care of us. I remember ignoring my health completely after my husband's health scare in 2021. Eventually I had to undergo a major surgery in January. I know I wasn't. Yes, true. So somewhere, uh, so this is another example that recently our dog has been unwell. And there's a lot of see, with the humans what happens is that you still understand that what is going on and you can talk, you can connect. uh, Now with him it's very difficult to understand that what is wrong. And so I can truly relate to this, Amiji. But then while it said that सबसे ज़्यादा जो once I visited a cancer hospital, actually what I realized that more than the cancer patients taking up yoga or doing something, we were actually connecting more with the caretakers over there, because they were in a distressed situation, because they are the ones who have to turn up and show up without any failure, and they cannot express to that extent. And सो बोलते हैं ना कि एक बीमार होता है तो एक्चुअली पूरा फैमिली बीमार होता है. तो आई विश योर हस्बैंड गुड हेल्थ एंड सो टू यू एज वेल. So exactly, to to somewhere we have to disconnect, somewhere create that line and start creating health for ourselves as well. Or I've still not been able to. True, I can completely agree with that. So there are I will suggest that there are channels, there are practitioners who can help you release and overcome this trauma. But since you have already acknowledged and addressed that this needs time and it needs to move out, one should definitely be finding ways to release it. Because I can relate to this. When my dad passed away, for a couple of years I was aware that this is in me. And only after a couple of years I reached out to somebody and I told that I need to release this from me. And then that work started happening. So the wonderful thing is that you're already aware that it is there. So we move next. There is a fact we want to ignore, because no one likes doing hard things. Who wants to exercise every day? Who wants to work on their relationship? All these things need work. Consistently, they need work. And admit that they have all kinds of bad habits that originate from their childhood. Who wants to work all day, building one's career, or perhaps struggling to create a new company together with a bunch of strangers? It is hard. But you and I both know that we need to do those things. Because if we don't, our health, relationships, and lives will only get worse. Nothing in life improves on its own without any form of nurturing. What happens to a plant if you don't give it water? What happens to your car if you don't change the oil? Look, I get why so many people online love to bash productivity culture. It's easy to pick on guys like Gary Vaynerchuk and say, "No, Gary, I don't want to hustle. Take a hike." It feels good to say that kind of stuff, just like it feels good to collectively laugh at the high school brain who always stumbles during gym class. The people who are laughing should look at themselves. The critics who are preaching you should rest are often publishing content every single day. They are maybe not aware that being productive also has benefits, especially when you don't overdo it. Uh, this is a very lovely reflection that uh, anything that we start, anything that we do, anything, if we have been assigned a job, it definitely requires a kind of commitment and hard work behind it. And unless and until we sow in that hard work, we can't. Uh, and why do we need to do that hard work? It's not because of achieving any kind of result. So here I'm reminded of Bhagavad Gita, which says that you have to give your full to your work, because irrespective of the action, because somewhere when we give our fullest to any kind of work, even if the result is not in favor, we are not left with that feeling of regret. We still have that feeling of joy because of the kind of effort that we have put in, and that's like the real achievement. तो बोलते हैं ना कि आप किसी दीवार को अगर हम धक्का लगाते रहे, सो दीवार नहीं हिलेगी, the दीवार will not move from its place, but it will definitely strengthen the arm muscles, it will definitely strengthen your leg muscles. So whatever work we do with commitment and we keep doing that, it is bound to strengthen some muscles of us. Maybe mental muscles, maybe arm muscles, maybe any muscles, or maybe willpower or resilience, and build up resilience. So that's why, uh, and this is also very true, which I can very much relate to, that there are people who will come and tell you on your face that, I have taken a break, I will, it is not my health is my priority. And in the evening, or at the same, just in a bit of time, you'll see that they are coming up with another project. So so this is a tactic which generally, this is how people ward off their energies, that uh, वो बोलते हैं ना कि हमें कुछ बुरा ना हो जाए, इसलिए अपने बारे में हमेशा, you keep talking a little low, that I am not feeling up to it, but internally, so it's like an intransparency, which I don't believe in, and I'm not a fond, I'm really not fond of. But yes, there are people, and I have seen this in my own circle, that people who say that why take a hustle, who will discourage you from taking up more work or working harder, are actually working very hard at their own end and making their means meet. So uh, rather we should be encouraging, and there is all the time to do all the things that we want to. That is our life, that is how our life has been designed. Because Abhi, generally, when we live a moment, we live a very scattered moment. But just think about that, when you have a presentation and you are not, so even if you have been given half an hour to work on that presentation, you will be doing a marvelous work on that presentation. Because now that moment is not scattered by 100, it is multiplied by 100, because you are totally into it. So when we are into one moment fully and completely, then we have ample of time to do anything, any project that we want to undertake. The Stoics had a great way of looking at life and work. They always preached doing your best and nothing less. Epictetus said it without sugarcoating the message. Don't be lazy and give excuse after excuse. If you continue to do this, your lack of progress may be hidden, but in the end, you will have lived a mediocre life. So, here, one is a mediocre life which comes out of the result of your work. जो फल आपके हाथ में नहीं है. But this mediocre life will not stay mediocre if the work behind it has been the of the utmost quality and the intensity. जैसे हम बच्चों को बोलते हैं ना कि prepare for your exam and prepare it very well. After that, even if you get less marks, you will not feel bad about it, because you have actually given up your 100% or more than 100% into your work. Don't be lazy and give excuse after excuse. If you continue to do this, your lack of progress may be hidden, but in the end, you will have lived a mediocre life. Decide that you are an adult and you are going to devote the rest of your life to making progress. They always talked about the importance of doing what's natural as an adult. But here's an important distinction. The Stoics warned us never to look at outcomes. Just like the illustration at the top, look at your next step, not at the finish line. Otherwise, you risk slipping on that banana peel. Similarly, if you work hard and you don't get rich, don't give in to disappointment because sometimes things just don't work out. Marcus Aurelius talked about this concept, meditations. Remember that our efforts are subject to circumstances. You weren't aiming to do the impossible. So, any reflections over here? Looking forward ahead, next step is so paramount. That's true. And the Stoics also warned us, just like the Bhagavad Gita, that do not look at the outcomes. Don't wait for the fruit. Just don't. Uh, when we participate in a race, we what we first visualize is that we have reached the finish line and and are at the first spot. That is the impression that the mind simply throws on us, that or if we are doing any work, the first flash that comes in, that we're being appreciated for that presentation or for that work or for that book review. At least it used to work with me like that. But yes, there has been a shift since, I would say, the past 1 year, that the effort has shifted towards the, I would say, the joy of effort. The my work has shifted towards the joy that it gets from the effort behind it. Because when we are chasing this joy of effort, then we are not actually chasing anybody's opinion. Life is by us, from us, and to us. Uh, so remember that our efforts are subject to circumstances, and these things are enjoying the process. Actually, that is, I think, that's the biggest thing. Enjoying the progress is what really puts in the charm and icing on your work, and you start doing it fully, and you don't mind putting, you just enjoy putting some extra work into it or your full dedication into it. And that shift comes when we start enjoying the process. So that's truly, you can say, एक शिफ्ट होता है, एक काम को करना और एक काम को पूरा मन से निभाना. So that is the shift that comes by enjoying the process. At any given time, we are subjected to thousands of external forces that we can't control. We can do work without getting noticed. We can get suddenly ill. We can lose loved ones. We can get hit with natural disasters. We all know this. And yet, we constantly need to remind ourselves that we don't need to be perfect. When Marcus was talking about how you weren't aiming to do the impossible, he wasn't talking about life in the 21st century, because that's exactly what we are doing. It's much better to have no expectations whatsoever. Remember that doing hard work is a part of adult life, and that the work itself has value regardless of what rewards we do or we don't receive. When you go through life without expecting much from yourself, you can simply do your best, which is enough. We aim to have it all, and if we don't get it all, we get down. That's not a good way to live. So that's a very profound line, that we aim to have it all. It's a, हम सबकी मन की इच्छा होती है to have it all, and if we don't get it all, we get down. So our efforts reduce, कि यार इतना कोशिश कर लिया तभी भी इतना ही होता है, इससे ज्यादा तो होता ही नहीं है. So and we keep, now here when we get down, so he says that this is not a good way to live. Being an adult, it's our responsibility, innate responsibility, to give our best and to keep working towards it, keep honing your skills and layer it up with higher intelligence, and offer it, offer it as as a serving. offer your work to the higher powers. So any reflections still here? किसी के साथ ऐसा होता है that you get lazy and give excuse after excuse? Used to happen a lot with me. So I think the kind of meetups that we have, the book reviews, the book readings, all these things help us with that, layer up us with that knowledge that these kind of, that we all are, in a way, in a remote way, we are pulling ourselves and pulling each other, creating that, uh, you know, uh, so it said that having the right knowledge, we all are gunning the right knowledge. So knowledge is one thing that जो हम अपने end पे भी gain कर सकते हैं, but environment is something which is bigger than knowledge as well. So if we don't have the right environment, that knowledge that has seeped in cannot be nurtured. So this is what TDF does for us. You know that we create that knowledge, we enjoy the process also, and also we are uh, creating that environment for each other. So with these kinds of reviews and book readings, so we are reminded of many things, and there is a force, there is a collective energy which is pulling us back to the right track every time. Okay, so we move to the next chapter, and probably after that, we can hold up some discussions. So, this is letter 26 on the joy of owning nothing. I like the idea of minimalism. When we own too many things, our lives get cluttered. But if you really think about it, we actually own nothing in life. We are just visitors who get to spend time on this weird planet that spins around in the middle of the space. वो बोलते हैं ना कि एक वो जितना आप लेटे हैं उससे ज्यादा आपको जगह नहीं चाहिए. That is what we will go back with. And so even that much, so we own nothing. We have come with ना कुछ लेके आए हैं ना कुछ लेके जाएंगे. So he says that the author says that he is fond of the idea of minimalism, and because when there is too much of clutter, the life is cluttered, the mental space is cluttered, everything is cluttered. So he shares his story that I sold my car a few weeks ago, and for a moment I felt a bit sad. But I didn't use my car that much because almost everything I do and need is in my city. I can use any type of transportation to get around, from using my bicycle to grabbing a car or scooter or on one of those sharing apps. When I sold my car, I quickly realized that it was never my car anyway. So there's no need to feel bad about it. I just got to use it for a few years in exchange of money. You can't lose something you never owned. And now this is a very, very big thought that अपना कुछ है ही नहीं तो खोया क्या जाएगा, मतलब you can't lose it. And so creating or installing that feeling of detachment. So okay, I'll take a pause here. Is there anything in your life that you have lost and you felt you've been remorseful about it? It can be anything, it can be, anything, any part of your life that you've owned up so much, but you've really, होता है ना कभी कुछ favorite pen खो जाता है तो we get so hustled up that where has that small thing gone, which because we consider it as our own. Anyone? Yes, Sumanji, would you like to share something?
Yeah, that's very true that we I think it happens daily that whatever we have, we are so attached to those things that we never want to lose it, whether it is relationships or the things. But the message is very true that detachment should be there. And Shakespeare also says that we are actors and we come on this earth to play our part and then we have to move on. So just we have to perform our role. That is the thing. You enjoy, perform your role without getting attached. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your reflections. Yes, Aradhana ji.
Yes, I have such one thing. During my childhood, we were traveling. So we have a beautiful dress we used to wear, which our father had bought for us, and we lost that. So we felt very bad during that time. But now we remember it as a memory and it brings lot back memories and now feel don't feel that much bad. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Yes, Shay, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I
Yes.
just want to share that since before 2015, I used to be a runner. I used to run marathon, half marathon, 10 kilometer, 15 kilometer, running like just like a soul, food for my soul. But in 2015, when I got a knee injury, so that I stopped running, and it took me 2 years to just get out of that. I have lost the my capability of my knee. So this is how it is, not that we nothing on, but what I consider, what I think that we take everything granted, and we
Hmm.
never take care of those things. And
Hmm.
when those things are lost or gone, then we start crying or weeping or just.
True.
So this is how that when I got a knee injury, and then after that, so since we own nothing, so we also lose nothing. But whatever we are having, we never taken care of it.
True. So true.
This is
This
how.
is a very nice reflection that you have shared. This is exactly my journey with running also, Sher.
Yes.
So I took up around 5 to 6 marathons, and these used to be like 21 kilometers. So I used to go for the 18-kilometer run, 18 or the 10-kilometer run. But yes, uh, again, the I also developed. So after the marathon, for 2 days, my right knee used to pain like anything. So here it reflects from the earlier chapter also that going to a marathon actually needs a lot of preparation, right? It needs a lot of consistent work on towards the body parts, towards the knee, the strengthening, and that marathon actually has to have a preface of short runs. So I did not approach it that way. My was very erratic. My friends were going, and so I joined in and I started going for the marathons. And um, but actually the बोलते हैं ना कि after party, so the after marathon feel जो होता था, that used to be a very painful one, because 2 days the knee used to be really in a bad shape, and the entire 2 days 3 days work used to get impacted. So exactly, not taking care of what we have in the present, taking that for granted, never working towards it. And then once you have that pain, so first, yes, even when I stopped running, so the doctor told me not to take it up anymore. And yes, I physically also realized that somewhere I was doing it just because everyone was doing it. But honestly speaking, if you go for a run, how it happens in Delhi here is that if there is a run, it starts at around 5 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning, and for that one has to be at the venue at around 4:30. सो क्या होता है कि आप 3 बजे जग जाते हो, तो आपकी नींद पूरी नहीं होती और आप अपनी नी को अच्छे से खराब करके आते हो, और उसकी वजह से आप तो एक एक पूरा 1 week at a stretch used to get impacted. That was a reality of my life, because I was even parallelly in a corporate job at that time, so it used to impact me very much. And then I also realized that why do I need to be so harsh towards my knee, that I am running on the road surface for such a long tenure. Instead, you enjoy running, you go to a park and run on a better surface and enjoy the run. It's about so when it shifts to running instead of achieving that marathon, I think that pain is less. The process is much more endurable. It is a long lasting process, and it doesn't leave you with these kind of erratic scars also. It doesn't leave you with that. So yeah, very well said, that we take it for granted. We don't tend to it, we don't nurture it, and we are exploiting it. So thank you for sharing. Brought me memories of my own marathons. I wasn't always like that. When I sold the first car that I bought, I really had to say goodbye. It was emotionally difficult to say goodbye to an object. It sounds weird, but I really felt connected with that car. I had so many good memories of it. The car was there when my first girlfriend and I took a road trip. I drove my first car to the tattoo shop where I got my first tattoo. I drove it to the college. The car was there when I had my fun nights out with my friends. I kept the car for a few years and sold it when it was about 20. When I was about 20. The car was so beat up that it cost me hundreds to keep it on the road. I couldn't afford it anymore. But because I was so attached to my car, I couldn't summon the emotional fortitude to sell it myself. I did create the online ad, but I asked my father if he would sell it to the person who wanted to buy the car. I said, I don't even want to be here when you sell it. I'm going away. When I come back, the car will be gone. So, being so attached to it that even when you are taking it out of your life, you are unable to show up and you don't want to be around it, because you know your state, that you are in a vulnerable state and you will break down because that thing is moving out of your life. It was really a dramatic scene. I even wrote an article about the car and published it on some hip hop forums that also published lifestyle blogs. It was one of those early websites that had a combination of news, community, and articles that normal people would submit. The website doesn't exist anymore, but I do remember that somehow compared my first car to my first girlfriend. She did not like being compared to a car, and now I can definitely understand why. But to my 20-year-old self, it all made sense. So, this is something. So, last year, something happened. I lost an earring, okay, and a very dear earring. And for a woman, a piece of jewelry is like, part of you. So, I lost this earring, and um, I kept on searching for it, and I kept on, finding it out. And it used to come in the dream as well, that where has it gone? And I felt incomplete without it. So, good 8 months passed away. बीच बीच में याद आता था, ट्रॉमा देता था, सब कुछ होता था, बट मिल तो नहीं रहा था, ढूंढ भी लिया था सब कुछ, तो यही लगा कि खो गया है या कुछ हो गया है उसको, एंड इट इज गॉन नाउ. बट yes, it used to come back. Anytime I used to see any female wearing that kind of earring, it used to remind me of my own mother. But somewhere deep inside me, I had this feeling that it will come back. It is somewhere and it will come back. So there was this thing, but yes, it was not there. In the sense, I could not trace it, I could not find it, and I was living without it. Recently, when I was out on my last trip, so while unpacking one of the bags, we were in Jaipur at that time. So one packet came out, and in that packet, that earring came out. You know, the funny thing was, now when I found this earring, my happiness was not as much as the kind of sadness that I had poured into it when it was not there. So the happiness was there, but it was not it was not like bliss that, the life is back. So might be this episode of, I look upon it as that this episode came to life to teach me detachment from something which is there, but it is not your own. And also, even if it is not there, it doesn't make you any less. So this coming back of it, meeting it, it was like kind of a, a happy moment. But at the same time, it actually gave me many lessons that अगर आपके पास कोई चीज है और आप उसको बहुत वैल्यू करते हो, so taking care of it, keeping it at the right place in the first go, organizing your things well, taking care of it. And uh, if it is not there, then not breaking your life or dissolving for it completely, and letting the life has to move on. So this funny incident happened. It took 1 year's course of time for it getting lost and getting found once again. But yes, I think this tenure, exactly, it's only our health and mind only, which is like truly worth investing in or staying close to and being possessive about. So, do we want to take the selfie now and then we proceed? Okay. So I would request everyone, if you can please turn on the camera, come on the video with your cup of chai, coffee, ABC juice,
or with the book.
or with the book. Yes, please.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I request switch on the camera. Suman ji, Tamila ji, yes, Aradhana ji, Lilita ma'am, Jagrati ji, Riti ma'am. Ready, everyone? Smile. Thank you. I could not go for the walk, so I just opened the window and invite
Yes, we
everyone
can
in.
see the sunlight on you.
Yes,
We
thank
are feeling warm. आपको देख के warmth आ रहा है. Looking at the sunlight, hoping because Delhi is cold today. कल रात में बारिश हुई है. So it has got a little more cold now.
Here we are praying for the rains because for last 2 months there is no rain,
Okay.
and next 2 3 months will go without rain, and since May to November continuously rain.
Oh, yeah. Kerala, na?
Yes, Kat.
Mm, true. I thought the car was a piece of me. हाँ, आज भी हुई couple of बारिश हुई है, yeah, true. I thought the car was a piece of me. Of course, we know that's nonsense. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus shared really insightful thoughts on this concept. He said, you cannot really lose anything because you don't own anything in the first place. Not the stuff you have, your spouse, or your property. They are given to you for a temporary keep. So never say, I've lost something. You just returned it. We really don't own anything. Even if you live like a minimalist, you still have no possessions instead of a few possessions. So changing this narrative from holding, like, when we on the path of sustainability, or when we are inspired by minimalism, aparigraha, we do not want to hoard things, we want to be clutter free. Even the minimalistic also that is around us. So creating an identity, creating a distinction between us and the thing. It is not my phone, it is a phone. So when that we create that mental distinction, and in the language or in the way we address things or in the way how we feel about things, it brings in a lot of lightness, क्योंकि आपसे बहुत सारी चीजें निकल गई, डिटैच हो गई. सो इट ब्रिंग्स इन अ, हम हल्के हो जाते हैं when we do that. Otherwise everything becomes ours. And on that hours, on us, this hours plus hours, so many things, our books, our phone, our life, our health, everything is piling on. So there are, this is how we create that distinction, the wall between us and what is not truly ours. That's why I no longer worry about how much stuff I own. It's not something I worry about because I know I actually own nothing. On this, on this note, I would share that बहुत लोगों ने ना, मतलब हमने भी शायद कभी ऐसा किया होगा, सस्टेनेबिलिटी के नाम पे बहुत सारा जो ऑलरेडी था उसको निकाल के नया सामान खरीदा. कैसा सामान खरीदा? विच इज नेचुरल फैब्रिक, or which is like, now we already, if you already have a lot of clothes, but because now you are on a sustainable path, you have got hooked on to the concept of sustainability, it doesn't mean that you take out your existing clothes to buy that linen cloth or a handloom weave or something which is a sustainable or recyclable product. So sustainability in its own meaning, it means that buying less, consuming less, extracting less from the nature, from the mother earth. But here, the way these products are advertised, the kind of narratives, the kind of storyline that they use, they make you believe that you have to, whatever you have is not great, you have to remove that. And you have to actually, जब तक आप ये recyclable shirt नहीं खरीदोगे तब तक आपके, you are not a person who is following sustainability. So that is the story we are made to buy, and we generally fall in for these stories because the marketing is, I would say, it is a very very strong. The way they promote things, it's a very, they actually harp on your mind, and they can do this. So that's why I no longer worry about how much stuff I own. It's not something I worry about because I know I actually own nothing. Yeah, since we don't believe in ourselves, so we believe in advertisement, and jiska hai ad, actually wo hai bad. So coming from the advertisement, I worked in the advertisement industry only for 17 years, and we were actually made to believe, when you we used to look at the newspaper, तो हमें ऐसा ट्रेन किया जाता था कि आप उस न्यूज़पेपर के अंदर, हमको हमारा काम न्यूज़ देखने का नहीं है, हमारा काम सिर्फ और सिर्फ उसमें एड देखने का है, रेस्ट एवरीथिंग इज रबिश. Because that ad exists in the paper, that's why the newspaper exists. If that ad goes out, the newspaper will not exist. So yes, exactly, these are the marketing gimmicks, and they are very very powerful. So we should be mentally trained, we should be mentally clear that what are we falling in for. We just get to enjoy things as long as we are on this planet. That's not only true for objects, but also true for people. As Epictetus wrote, your spouse died. He or she was, so he writes it that in a way that your spouse died, he or she was returned. So that's probably the most extreme example, but the quote gets the point across that if someone has, passed away, has left left this life, thinking of it, yes, it requires a lot of guts, lot of training, lot of belief into that this person was actually returned to where he or she came from. That's, you don't want to make everything about yourself. When we lose people, we think about everything that we are missing, but that's not a good way to think about loss. That doesn't mean the Stoics didn't mourn. They simply had a way to explain death. To have people in our lives is a privilege, something to not take for granted. Again, this point comes that not taking it for granted. अभी क्या होता है कि um, if someone passes away, if someone dies, we would go to their home, we would want to talk good about that person, remember that person. But what about the time when that person is living? Did we make an effort to go to that person and talk to that person? We don't do that. So the effort has to shift, enjoying what is here right now. And so there is this feeling that not taking any single moment of your life and your relationships for granted, because you don't know what lies in the next moment. And when we truly start believing it, somewhere it dissolves the egos. uh, you do not fight much, and also you consider, you value other person's existence as well. Any reflections still here?
I would like to share something. So, like it's about the humbleness and your ego when you understand the uh, that life is not permanent, impermanency of the human being.
True.
Like when I have also actually lost a lot of my family members in the course of time, not the real ones, but yes, but I had been living in an extended joint family, big family. So then I realized that it's not very kshan bhangur hai jeevan. So and with that realization I became quite humble. And कि कितना भी आप achieve कर लो, it's not ours. First of all, we are the instruments. Secondly, it's been done by God through us. Like तो हमारा कुछ नहीं है. So that has been now engraved in me. So yeah.
And life becomes so beautiful, relationships become so beautiful when that knowledge becomes like a living knowledge. It becomes a part of you, it becomes you. And that is what reflects outside also, because that is the reflection that we are letting go from ourselves. So very beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so we can hold up a discussion once this is fully done now. uh, when we lose people, we think about everything that we are missing, but that's not a good way to think about loss. ये तो line ऐसा है कि जैसे ही जब रिश्तेदार कोई expire होता है, तो we actually go to their home, spend so much of time. Otherwise हमारे घर के पास में भी कोई नहीं रह रहा होता है, तो we do not take out the time or effort to visit that person and talk. So the idea is to living that, enjoy and live fully the time that we are here on the earth, and your near and dear ones are around you. Invest time in your relationships, investing time, finding that time to call up that person who is staying far away but you are very connected to. So that real connection, that real love should pour out when the person is there, celebrating life, instead of, because one or the other day all of us have to be returned. So, and we don't know, life is unpredictable. So we don't know that what lies next, but what is there, we truly cherish that, we hold that. We should enjoy the company of our loved ones and avoid becoming complacent about the time we spend with each other. At any moment, a person can return to the universe or heaven or whatever you believe in. Epictetus said we should think of all the things in life as a hotel stay. You just don't know exactly when it's time to check out. So never forget to enjoy your stay. So I really like this ending also, that we take it as a hotel stay. Now, how we treat a hotel. When we go to a hotel, we treat it that we enter, we want to keep it clean, we want to keep it maintained. So I personally consider that whatever we have, this is all, it's given to us on rent, this body. So it's our, the way we maintain a rented thing, that is how we are bound or responsible to maintain this body which is housing our soul. इस जगत सराय में मुसाफिर रहना 2 दिन का. Thank you, Kamal, for sharing. So, any reflections, everyone? और ये चीज मुझे, especially when you have children and you have a child around you, this thought comes in so easily. This is so sometimes what happens, you get bogged down by bachon ki shaitani se, yeah, something like that, and you're like, give me my time. But Sadhguru also says this very beautifully, that the child has actually come to you to help you relive your childhood or seep in joy into your life. But what we do is we look at it from a very adult eye, and we are somewhere always tensed, but we forget to seep in that joy that the child has actually come to us to give that to us. So we should not take any single moment for granted, but rather take it as an opportunity that has been given to us. So shifting that uh, that glance towards every moment, that it's actually an opportunity to live, enjoy, and spend it together. Any closing lines by anyone? Rumit ji, Palak, Sher ji, Aradhana ji, Amy. Amy, I missed your review yesterday. I'm gonna watch it on YouTube. Rethi ji. Yes, Kamal sir.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much, Ruchi, for a wonderful session. And when last में आप जब बोल रहे थे, sometimes our relatives or the loved ones lives nearby, लेकिन हम उनसे जाके नहीं मिलते. तो I live nearby you, so please come someday. And wonderful session about the consistency when you started. Definitely, consistency is one of the most important thing one should follow, especially when nobody's watching you, when nobody's applauding you, appreciating you. During that time also you need to be consistent. And about slow down, it really matters, because slowing down doesn't mean you need to stop everything. It means you are taking a time for recovering yourself, rejuvenating yourself, because after slowing down, once you'll come back on your work, you feel more energized, in fact. And recently, I inculcated this practice into my life, and every Sunday, I just keep it for myself. I do my rituals for slowing down. So it really wonderful. And लास्ट में जो आपने बोला पोजेशन वाली चीज, तो रिसेंटली आई एम रीडिंग अ बुक, ये वाली भी, 7 हैबिट्स ऑफ हाईली इफेक्टिव टीनेजर्स. इसके अंदर एक बहुत अच्छी कोटेशन आई, एंड आई कुड रिलेट दैट कोटेशन जो आपने बोला पोजेशन का, दैट इफ हु आई एम is what I have. If who I am is what I have, and if what I have is lost, then who I am. तो मतलब we relate कि this is my car, my home, and we feel that these things are my identity. But if these things are not there, then who I am actually. So we should not relate our identity with the possessions we have, but the character we have, I would say. Yeah, wonderful session. Thank you so much once again. Enjoy Delhi ki circuit.
Waiting for dhoop.
Yeah, Ruchi ji, when you said na time, we don't know when the time for check out. So I live in suitcase. So when you were saying, I was just entering the hotel and having breakfast now, and I don't know when the time will be there for checkout. So amazing session. Your sessions are always amazing. So thank you very much, and happy weekend to everyone.
एंड सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट रोमित सर, जैसे आपने बोला आप हमेशा बैग लेके घूमते हो. माय ब्रदर वर्क्स इन थिएटर. तो एक थिएटर में उसने लाइन बोली थी, मतलब काफी पहले, मैंने शायद पहले भी शेयर किया था, कि अपने किरदार को कुछ इस शिद्दत के साथ निभाओ कि पर्दा गिरने के बाद भी तालियां बजती रहें.
वाह वाह.
Beautiful, very beautiful.
And that's why we enjoy every moment of our life, and in any situation, we are always because we don't know how much time we have, and when we means meeting someone, whether we'll meet again or not. So we enjoy each and every moment. So thank you.
Thank you. I so admire the way Rumiji joins in from anywhere, wherever he is. Because in his selfies, it reflects whether he is sitting inside the plane or wherever he is, he takes up that effort. That's so amazing and inspiring.
Indeed.
Okay, then. So, thank you everyone for listening to the two chapters, 25 and 26. Thank you for your time and have a very nice and blessed weekend. And as Kamal shared, do take out time for yourself, for your rituals, for slowing down, because that really matters.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ruchi ji. Wonderful session today. And very crisp, very relatable. बहुत ही अच्छा लगा. We enjoyed our Sunday morning like this. Yes. And it's
Teacher,
precious because of all of us here.
it's
So
truly
yes.
precious.
So with that, we come to the end of our session. Today we don't have any other sessions in the evening. We'll see tomorrow. Bye bye everyone. Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone.